In a universe that seems vast and chaotic, humanity has always sought patterns to bring meaning to the stars above. For thousands of years, people have looked to the heavens for signs, using the alignment of celestial bodies as a guide for navigation, agriculture, and spirituality. Among the countless stars, one constellation has stood out across cultures and ages: Orion. Its unmistakable shape and brilliant stars have inspired myths, stories, and prophecies, connecting us to a divine order beyond our understanding. But what if Orion is more than just a beautiful constellation? What if it serves as a divine clock, guiding us through God's cosmic calendar and marking pivotal moments in human history? The Orion Clock Theory proposes that the stars in Orion align with biblical sabbatical cycles, offering us a window into a sacred rhythm set by the Creator himself. In this journey, let's explore how the cosmos might be in tune with divine timing, and how aligning ourselves with this heavenly rhythm can transform our spiritual lives. In our world, time governs almost every aspect of our lives. We measure it in seconds, minutes, hours, days, and years, a constant countdown that directs our schedules, sets our goals, and organizes our days. But what if I told you that our understanding of time barely scratches the surface of a far grander cosmic rhythm? Imagine a clock that doesn't just count days or years, but reveals divine cycles, interweaving human history with celestial events. A clock set by the Creator himself, marking the sacred connection between heaven and earth. This concept, known as the Orion Clock Theory, suggests that the stars themselves, particularly the constellation Orion, may serve as a divine timepiece, aligning with biblical cycles and revealing God's intentions across the ages. This isn't just any celestial phenomenon. According to the theory, these cycles align with the sabbatical years described in the Bible, offering us a blueprint hidden in the heavens, an invitation to live in tune with a divine schedule. Each 7-year cycle, marked as a sabbatical, isn't only about rest, it's a way to bring ourselves back into alignment with the Creator's grand design. To understand the depth of this concept, we need to look at the sacred sabbatical cycle established in Scripture. In the book of Leviticus, God commands his people to observe every 7th year as a year of Sabbath for the land, a sabbatical year, a time for restoration and pause. In Leviticus 25 verse 4, God says, "In the 7th year the land is to have a year of Sabbath rest, a Sabbath to the Lord. Do not sow your fields or prune your vineyards." This isn't simply agricultural advice, it's a profound spiritual instruction. The land's rest is symbolic of our need to step away from the busyness of life, reconnect with God, and remember that we are part of something greater. This cycle doesn't end with agriculture. It permeates every aspect of life, a sacred pattern that reminds us to align with divine timing. And, intriguingly, it doesn't stop at the earthly realm. Many believe these cycles extend far beyond, reaching into the cosmos itself. Scholars and theologians have begun to explore the possibility that these sabbatical years align with movements in the heavens, particularly within the constellation Orion, a familiar and storied constellation that has captured humanity's imagination for millennia. Orion is no stranger to spiritual significance. Throughout history, it has been revered by civilizations as a symbol of divine order. In ancient Egypt, Orion was associated with Osiris, the god of resurrection. To the Greeks, it symbolized a mighty hunter and cosmic warrior, a celestial guardian watching over the heavens. In our modern night sky, Orion remains one of the most recognizable constellations, with its 3 bright stars forming a distinctive belt. But what if those stars are more than just astronomical landmarks? What if they serve a greater purpose, marking God's cosmic clock, a divine calendar that signals critical moments in the Creator's plan? The Orion Clock Theory suggests exactly this. It proposes that the movements and positions of the stars in the Orion constellation align with the 7-year sabbatical cycles. Each star, each shift in position, represents a point in this divine timeline, corresponding with key biblical events that echo across history. Take, for example, the beginning of Jesus' ministry. In the book of Luke, Jesus stands in the synagogue and proclaims the year of the Lord's favor, a Jubilee year, a super sabbatical that occurs every 50 years after 7 cycles of 7 sabbaticals. This proclamation was not random. It marked a significant point in God's timeline, a time for renewal, release, and restoration. This Jubilee year aligned with a new 7-year cycle beginning in 28 AD, signaling a divine shift. From that moment forward, 7-year intervals continued to mark key events, stretching across history like invisible threads woven into the fabric of time itself. Another powerful moment in history aligned with these sacred cycles was the stoning of Stephen, a pivotal event that sparked the spread of Christianity beyond the Jewish community. In Acts 7:59-60, we read of Stephen's final moments, praying for those who persecuted him as he became the first Christian martyr. Scholars have noted that this event took place in 35 AD, aligning with another sabbatical year. These cycles of 7 years echo consistently throughout Scripture and history, revealing a divine order that guides humanity through pivotal moments. This divine schedule isn't limited to historical events. It appears to connect with the cosmos as well. The stars in Orion seem to mirror these sacred cycles, marking the same 7-year intervals. Scholars have tracked these movements and noticed that certain prophetic years, like 1844 and 1846, which are significant in religious prophecy, align with the positioning of Orion. This realization has led some to view Orion as a sort of cosmic clock, ticking away the years of God's plan. Imagine each star in Orion as a marker, not just in space but in time, guiding us through the Creator's grand design. So, how do these celestial movements impact us here on Earth? The sabbatical year, according to Scripture, is a time of rest and renewal. It calls us to pause, to step away from our usual routines and reconnect with God. In a world where we often feel hurried and overburdened, the idea of divine timing offers us an invitation to slow down, to step into God's rhythm. By observing the sabbatical cycles, we align ourselves with a cosmic rhythm, entering into a sacred order that has been in place since creation. This concept of sacred rest, symbolized by the sabbatical year, is echoed throughout the Bible. In Psalm 19:1, we read, "The heavens declare the glory of God, the skies proclaim the work of his hands." The stars, with their unchanging movements, are part of that proclamation. A reminder that time, as we understand it, is a reflection of a higher reality. The sabbatical year, therefore, isn't just about rest, it's a call to realign with God's rhythm, a reminder that life is not meant to be a relentless pursuit, but a harmonious dance with the divine. As we delve deeper into the Orion Clock Theory, we see that these cycles have prophetic significance. In Isaiah 61:1-2, later quoted by Jesus in Luke 4:18-19, the prophet speaks of the year of the Lord's favor, a Jubilee year. This year was marked by the release of debts, the freeing of slaves, and the restoration of land, symbolizing a return to God's original design for his people. These cycles are not arbitrary. They are moments when heaven and earth come into alignment, when divine and cosmic cycles intersect. Imagine for a moment that each star in Orion is a point in God's timeline, each shift marking a sacred interval that aligns with our earthly journey. It's as if the constellation itself is calling us, signaling key moments in the divine timeline. This cosmic rhythm reminds us that there is a higher order to life, a divine purpose woven into the fabric of existence. And as we recognize this sacred pattern, we are invited to live in harmony with God's plan, trusting that each moment, each cycle, is part of a grand design. The years 1844 and 1846, significant in both religious prophecy and Orion's positioning, are believed to mark the beginning of a new cycle within this divine calendar. These years were not random. They were points of alignment, moments when heaven and earth synchronize within the sabbatical cycles. Scholars have even calculated that the first sabbatical year of the Orion clock began in the autumn of 1847, following the pivotal events of 1846. These cycles have continued since, offering us a way to understand the flow of God's timeline, inviting us to synchronize our lives with this sacred rhythm. By observing these sabbatical cycles, we essentially adjust the divine clock, allowing us to track future cycles and anticipate moments of spiritual importance. This alignment with the divine timeline isn't about predicting events. It's about attuning ourselves to the wisdom of God's timing. When we understand these cycles, we're able to see beyond the daily rush, finding peace in the knowledge that we're part of a greater story. So, what does it mean to adjust ourselves to God's cosmic clock? First, we must embrace the spiritual purpose of the sabbatical cycle. According to Leviticus, the sabbatical year is a time for rest, a break from our struggles and worries, an invitation to reconnect with the Creator. It's a year of restoration, calling us to step out of the world's relentless pace and into a divine rhythm that offers peace and renewal. In this light, the Orion Clock Theory becomes more than just a fascinating alignment of stars in Scripture. It's a spiritual call to align with God's timing, to recognize that the divine clock is always ticking, inviting us to move in step with it. The stars are not just points in the night sky. They are markers, part of a cosmic message that invites us to remember the sacred rhythm set by the Creator. As we look at the night sky and see the familiar shape of Orion, may we remember that we are part of something greater, a grand design that connects us to the heavens. The stars may continue to move, the years may pass, but God's plan remains constant. The question is, will we choose to align ourselves with it? As we close this exploration of the divine rhythms that may link heaven and earth, remember that every celestial cycle and every sabbatical year invites us to realign with a higher purpose. The stars above remind us that time is not just something we rush through, but a sacred framework within which we grow, learn, and seek meaning. Orion, as a potential divine clock, urges us to look beyond the day-to-day and consider a larger plan, one that promises peace, renewal, and a deeper connection with the Creator. If this journey into cosmic and spiritual alignment has inspired you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content that connects spirituality and the mysteries of the universe. Join us in exploring these timeless truths, and stay tuned for more insights on your spiritual journey. Thank you for watching.